Lead story this evening, the government opposition standoff hitting a new low. Over 80 MPs from both the houses have been suspended amid the parliament breach row. This is the opposition, of course, is raking up the parliament security breach issue in both the houses. There were placards, there were MPs storming the well of the house and heavy sloganeering in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. But of course, the speaker in the Lok Sabha, Om Birla, suspended nearly 40 MPs after what he called the opposition disrupted the proceedings of the House. And in Rajya Sabha, just a short while back, over 30 MPs were suspended as well. So that number is not clear. We'll get some clarity on the number in just a short while from now. But MP after MP from the opposition benches being suspended from both the houses. Of course, a complete breakdown of communication between the government and the opposition, between the opposition and the treasury benches. And this comes just months before the crucial 2024 elections. Of course, what was the opposition demands? There are two simple demands. One, that the Home Minister make a statement on the floor of the House. And secondly, revocation of the suspension of the MPs. Now remember, Congress's leader of the Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, wrote to the Speaker just 24 hours, less than 24 hours before his suspension, calling for this revocation, and he stands suspended as well. The opposition has called this a murder of democracy. But of course, the core of the matter is that the parliament security scare, even that has not gotten the opposition and the treasury benches see eye to eye. So 30 more opposition MPs from the Rajya Sabha suspended in just a short while back. Maria Shakil is now joining us live on the broadcast. So Maria, as we were discussing earlier, a complete breakdown of communication, and now nearly 30 more Rajya Sabha MPs, and there's no clarity on that number, but this includes senior leaders from the opposition space being suspended.
Yes, absolutely. Ram Gopal Yadav of Samajwadi Party, Jairam Ramesh of the Congress, Mr. Surjewala of the Congress, DMK's Kanimodi and others. So the list is long, and we have been saying, I mean, this is unprecedented, and in both the houses, the government going on the suspension spree. Look, Vedant, politics aside, the very platform of the parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, is expected to be about discussions and debates. And what the opposition has been demanding is a discussion on the parliament breach. The nature of breach was very, very serious in nature. And what played out today was, I'm not too sure, an effort to run the House. Perhaps after that letter that was written by the Lok Sabha Speaker, the response that went from Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who has also been suspended from the Lok Sabha, was that he wants a discussion and they want a statement from the government. Well, that was not to be. Instead, what we are seeing is mass suspension of opposition MPs in both the houses. So it's just 4 days to go of this full, full session, the last full session of the 17th Lok Sabha. And there is no effort to run the House clearly on both the sides. And what is playing out, as we have been saying, complete breakdown of communication. But more so, I would say that lack of desire to run the House. If you look at the list, Anil Hegde, Vandana Chavan of the NCP, long list again, Mahua Maji of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, and a long list of CPM MPs, whosoever has been present. It looks like that this list is almost like the final numbers of opposition MPs who would be there in both the houses who have been suspended. This is unprecedented. I'm not too sure, being a political journalist who has covered the Parliament of India, this many number of suspension has happened on a single day. In all, 90 MPs suspended from both the houses, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. All these are opposition MPs. What the Rajya Sabha chairman and the Lok Sabha speaker had said was that they were seen in the well of the House, they were sloganeering, all efforts at running the House failed, and then they went ahead with it. But again, was there a meeting today of the floor leaders to run the House? These are the questions that will be asked. Now be prepared that these opposition MPs will continue their protest in front of the Gandhi statue. That is something that will be happening tomorrow. And as far as the government's agenda is concerned, they will ensure the passage of the bills in the remaining part of this session.
Maria, also the government is in a sense sending out a clear message that they will not give in to the opposition's demand of, the Home Minister making a statement on the floor of the House. That is
Certainly.
clear. The government
Certainly.
is not relenting either, and they will continue with the passage of the bills, even if it means without the, sans the opposition in the House.
Yes, that's right. That would be a fair assessment. And I think that assessment is because the government feels that there's no room for a discussion on debate on an issue which is very, very sensitive, which pertains to the issue of national security. And they feel that because this is an ongoing investigation and the Speaker has repeatedly informed the MPs about what is being done, they do not feel that they should really intervene at this point and present what they think is right or wrong. They have left it for the Speaker, the Lok Sabha Secretariat, to do the talking, to do the explanation. And for their part, they understand that because this is the last full session of the 17th Lok Sabha, they have to ensure passage of crucial legislation in the next 4 days, which they will be going ahead with. Vedant, this is not unprecedented in terms of, the tension that we are seeing between the two sides, between the Treasury benches and opposition. We have seen that before every election. Before every Lok Sabha election, the last few sessions are usually about no work. So that tradition, unfortunately, is continuing. But what has happened today is a suspension of this nature, where we saw MPs demand an explanation from the government saying that they have nothing to say. On the other hand, action being taken by the chairman of the Rajya Sabha and by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha.